Let me put some earrings on. I look busted. Much better. Okay, so I just pulled up. I'm about to go to my electrolysis appointment. I am at a different place than I have been going previously, and I don't know if I can record in there. But yeah, I will check back with you guys after my appointment is over, and I do have some slight updates, a little more information, helpful information for you guys when I come back. All right, so I don't have any jewelry on. I took it off for my appointment, but I just finished up. I've got some swelling, just a little bit, some redness. Whew, I don't know how anybody could ever sit through more than 30 minutes of that. He didn't quite finish this side in the 30 minutes, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. And then hopefully within a few weeks of just coming consistently, some of the hairs will just not come back at all. Let me put some earrings on. I look busted. Much better. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I'm about to head home. I'm probably gonna grab some food because my stomach was growling before I got to my appointment. My stomach was growling during my appointment, which made it worse because my adrenaline was pumping. Because I'll talk about it later. So hungry. I can't do this. I need to eat. I need to watch a video. I was gonna chit chat with you guys, but this food is more important. Not that y'all not important, because you are. But I'm really starving, and I don't got time to play about this food and these fries fresh. I love y'all. I'm gonna check back with y'all in a minute. That way I can get my thoughts together and say everything I need to say without missing those steps. Alright? Cool. BRB. It is the following day. It is a day after my electrolysis treatment. I wanted to go over some pre-treatment care and post-treatment care. And I actually was given this, before I even go into that, I told you guys in the beginning of the video that I went to a different electrologist this time. I just wanted to, I needed to feel it out because it had progressively gotten more painful as I was going, and I wasn't sure why. So I switched electrologists, and I'm actually pretty glad that I did because I got a little bit more information that I didn't have previously, and it's helpful information, you know. So one of the things that I was missing from not just the last electrologist that I was going to, but even before that, was consistency. So it was difficult for me to stay consistent on making appointments because I wasn't being offered the option of making an appointment after my appointment, like doing follow-up appointments immediately. So I would get treated, and then I'd go home and I'd wait until the hair started to grow back to make another appointment. And then that appointment had to fit around my schedule, of course, and their schedule. And then depending on if it was another day or two after that, the hair was still growing at this point, because now that I've seen it, now that it's there, it's still growing. So trying to catch the hair at the right time to treat it is one of the most important parts of this process. And I was missing that because I wasn't making another appointment until I saw hair growing back. So that became a hassle, and then sometimes the time or day just wasn't gonna work for me, and so I needed, like, if I had something to do, like go on a date or go to the doctor or whatever it is that I had to do, if I needed to put makeup on for whatever reason at work, like, I'd have to shave. So then I'm shaving. Now I have to wait at least another 2 days before I can make my appointment because I need the hair to have time to grow back, because the hair has to be long enough to grab with tweezers. Like, it was just difficult to plan another appointment after leaving, and a week, like 2 weeks would go by before I even saw a hair. So then it was just a mess, and consistency was becoming really difficult for me as far as following up. At that point, it just became easier for me to just do my own daily upkeep and just shave it. And I knew that that wasn't the right thing to do, but it became the most convenient, easy, quick fix. Now that I've switched to this other person, he told me that you're essentially damaging the hair follicle, right? Obviously, we knew that. But if you stop, your body heals itself. So not only is it healing the follicle that we're trying to damage, it is becoming stronger. And I have noticed that my hairs are stronger than they used to be, which makes sense for why this is now more painful to get done. It takes a little bit more heat to get the hair to come out properly, because I've had appointments where I've gone and I feel it, and then when they go to pluck the hair out, I feel it pull. And he was like, I shouldn't really have to pull very hard to get the hair out once I've damaged the follicle. It should just kind of slide out. And I'm like, oh. So now it's more painful than it previously was, because I've treated it and then stopped. So now he basically said, you need to come to me once a week. And this is the consistency I've been looking for. Nobody has ever told me that I could come every week, that there would even be enough hair there for me to come every week. But he's made it a point that I'm going to come every week. And after 5 or 6 treatments, I should see some pretty good results. So I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling good about it. I am going to set up so that you guys can see, because for 30 minutes, I have really thick hairs, but I don't have as many as some people do. So 30 minutes is usually enough to get all of this, but we didn't quite get all the way over here. So I have a couple hairs still over here. I'm just going to leave them there. I'm not going to touch them. But this side was treated. I do have some redness. I do have some bumps left behind, but again, I just got it treated yesterday, so that's totally normal. I'm used to that. But I did want to give you guys, or read off, some pre-treatment care and post-treatment care that he gave me. You need to let your hair grow out to about 1/8 of an inch or 2 millimeters at least. Like I said, the hair has to be long enough for them to grab with tweezers. If in between treatments the hair gets too long and you need to cut it, you can use a razor or an electric razor or something to trim the hairs down or cut the hairs down. But of course, by the time you go to your next treatment, you need to have given the hair time to grow at least 1/8 of an inch so that it can be tweezed. Daily moisturizing is important. If you're washing your face, when you moisturize your face, you should also be moisturizing your neck. I tend to get pretty dry. I also have a little bit of an eczema flare-up happening right now, so I keep some Aquaphor on deck for that. And drink plenty of water. Part of staying hydrated, moisturized, all that good stuff. Staying moisturized is going to help the probe go into the follicle easier, and it can actually help alleviate some of the pain. Not all the pain, it's still gonna hurt, but some of the pain. In addition to moisturizing, you want to exfoliate prior to your treatment to make sure any hairs that are kind of stuck in dry skin are lifted up. Don't exfoliate immediately after though. This is just prior to. Refrain from using retinol or glycolic acid treatments for at least 24 hours prior. I know that I've shared, I have a couple products that have glycolic acid in them, and they're really great as a chemical exfoliant, but you don't want to use them prior to your appointments. I actually haven't used them in probably almost a week. I've been sticking to a very basic cleanse, moisturize, that's it, skin routine. This one is important, and I knew this already, but I was not thinking the day of my appointment. Stay away from caffeine or alcohol. It is going to heighten your anxiety. It's going to which is going to in turn increase your adrenaline, and it's going to make you a little jumpy, and it will heighten the discomfort. It'll be a little bit less comfortable, a little bit more painful. So I literally, I wish I could show you guys. Okay, so when you're getting treated, obviously the pain level is comparable to a tattoo. I have a tattoo. That was easy peasy, not a big deal. The difference is the pain increases and it jumps. So if you're working on one follicle, you can feel it and you can hear the beeps, like beep, 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 and it's going up. And then that last one, the last couple of them, as the heat increases, are like spikes. They're like, I don't want to scare anyone, but you're anticipating it already because you know it's going to hurt a little bit. So the anticipation on top of the pain has your anxiety and adrenaline up. It's up and it's stuck, okay? You cannot calm yourself back down because you're anticipating the next hair. At least I am. And don't drink caffeine the day of. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It'll just make you even more shaky. My leg was twitching. My leg was twitching. I don't know. I don't know how people can do this for longer than 30 minutes. There are people that sit through this for an hour or 2 hours, and it's just each hair one by one by one. I don't know how people do it. I truly don't. I commend you if you sit through hour-long appointments, because 30 minutes is my max, and I'll be counting. Lastly, you can apply a numbing cream or take Tylenol or ibuprofen 30 to 45 minutes prior to your appointment. My current electrologist suggests laying on the numbing cream pretty thick and putting a layer of saran wrap on top of it to keep the moisture in, to keep it from drying out. That way, when you get to your appointment, they can work little by little and keep the other side numb, essentially, until they get to that side. That was just his recommendation, what he likes to do. Another electrologist might not advise the same thing, but try numbing cream. It will help ease a little bit of the discomfort. Again, it will not eliminate the pain. It is still going to hurt. It is still going to be uncomfortable. Tylenol. I took 2 Tylenol extra strength. It still hurt. It was still uncomfortable. There's no way around it for it to be completely painless. It's just not going to happen. But you gotta bear it. And of course, you can always ask your electrologist to turn the heat down if you're really in a lot of pain and it's super uncomfortable and you just can't take it. But to put it how he said it, it's a catch-22. You need it to be hot enough to damage the follicle. It has to be enough to treat your hairs. So if your hairs are requiring more heat, you kind of need it. Otherwise, there's not really any damage being done. And by the time you come back for your next treatment, it's kind of like you're starting over every single time because you're not doing enough damage to the follicle to actually decrease the growth of the hair. Then you're wasting your money. So I know it hurts. Just try to stick it out. I'm at a point where I want it gone, and I don't want to deal with trying to work around it anymore, because at this point, up until now, all the electrologist appointments that I've been to were kind of a waste because I stopped going. So I'm on a kick now. Once a week, every week. Gotta get it done. Sorry, the lighting's a little more yellow now. I am losing daylight. I had to go pick my friends up from the airport, but I'm back and I'm going to finish now. After your appointment, it's normal to have some redness, some swelling, some bumps, whatever. If you get any scabbing, do not pick it. Do not touch it, honestly. Leave it alone. Don't bother it. Just keep it clean, keep it moisturized. So, first, keep the area clean. You can clean it with alcohol, witch hazel, peroxide, soap and water, whatever. I personally like to use witch hazel. And my current electrologist recommended using Neosporin the first day immediately after, and afterwards using Aquaphor as like a protective barrier, moisturizer, all that jazz. If you have any swelling or any pain, you can use ice to reduce it. I've never really had to do that. But if you feel like you need to put some ice on it, put some ice on it. If advised, you can put an antibiotic ointment on it, such as Neosporin, like I said, to minimize risk of infection, because these are essentially open wounds on your face. You have a bunch of little punctures from the probe going into your follicle. So it is open skin. You do want to keep it clean so that you don't get anything infected. So you can use an antibiotic cream or ointment such as Neosporin. Don't pick at any scabs. If you have any, just let your electrologist know that you had some scabs, because they'll probably fall off on their own by the time you're at your next appointment. And don't over exfoliate. Like I said before, for 24 hours, don't exfoliate. Don't rough up your skin. Your skin is already irritated. Do not irritate it more by exfoliating. And that includes being abrasive, like in the shower with your washcloth. Like, no abrasive scrubbing, touching, rubbing, any of that. Keep it clean, keep it moisturized, don't touch it. Try to stay out of the sun and avoid going tanning. Again, your skin is irritated, it is sensitive. Don't make it more irritated by sitting in the sun, okay? And you're gonna feel it. Like, you will feel it get hot if you're sitting in direct sunlight. After 24 hours, you can put makeup on. Make sure that, of course, your makeup tools are clean, your brushes are clean, your sponges are clean, all that jazz. And make sure your makeup itself is not expired. You don't want to risk any type of infection by putting dirty things on it. Main thing, keep it clean, keep it moisturized, don't touch it. Pretty much after 24 hours, you're kind of in the clear. Don't hesitate to let your electrologist know if you have some extra irritation that you feel like is not normal. Give them as much detail as you can if you're not in person, and let them know what's going on so that they can further advise you. As far as everything goes for me, like I said, my biggest tips that I can give you is stay consistent. If your electrologist doesn't suggest every week or every 2 weeks, ask them. See what they can do. See what's a good schedule for you so that you can make sure that you're going regularly and you don't fall into a hole where it becomes inconvenient and you're not going for long periods of time, because then you're backtracking, you're not getting the results that you want, and you're wasting money. So yeah, I hope that was a good update for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, of course. Don't hesitate to ask. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload next, and make sure you like this video. Alright, I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.